Hey guys, so coming on, we are going to do something different than we've done, and so pretty exciting. This is probably going to be a 3 or 4 parter. I'm going to try to break it up a little bit and not have so much or so long of episodes, so therefore we're going to have more episodes but shorter essentially. So before we get started though, I want to give a big shout out to all my followers. We are at 200 followers on YouTube, which is just amazingly bizarre to me and fantastic. So I do appreciate, if you haven't already, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button because it's pretty cool. Not that it does anything other than excite me at this point, but it's a lot of fun. That's what I love to do. So, we are, as you can see, I have this a little bit bigger mold. This is a tray mold. I got this on Amazon a while ago and I just unpacked it, and I can see where the mold was like folded and probably creased and bent. So those lines are going to show up. Not much you can do about it. It's so old that I won't fight it with Amazon or the seller. It was probably just, packaged terribly, which molds are a lot of times. So we're going to be using that, but before I get too far in, we are going to work with some coasters. Now these coasters I got from Hobby Lobby. They come in a pack of 4. They were in the wood section, which is funny because they're like ceramic, so you can see where they got like scratched up and so forth. But I went ahead and I sanded them because they're super shiny otherwise. So I just took a little sanding block real gently, not real gently, but not super rough, but across the top this way, and I went this way, like I just kind of crisscrossed and got them scuffed so that we can ensure that resin sticks to them. Okay, so now we need to wipe them off because they are kind of dusty. So I just have some water in this spray bottle and paper towel, and just gonna do a little drying. So this episode we're gonna do just all of our prep work essentially. Next episode we'll actually pour some resin. So wipe these off. I just decided to scuff them before coming on. It creates a ton of dust, and it's just, you guys don't want to hear me scratching these up. It's real loud. So I figured I would do that part. And you can see in certain light, I don't know, I kind of blocked the light there, but there's definitely scratch marks on these. So oh, there's a little break one. Now these, like I said, come in a pack of 4, but they had a pack of 3 there too. So, and they were already on clearance. So I was like, hey, would you give me the pack of 3 for a discounted? So like this one has a chip on it. I'm not going to worry about that though, because what we're going to end up doing, probably going to hide most of that. This one also has some, like, I don't know what happened. Maybe when they made it, it just, their mold wasn't as smooth. So there's that too, but that's okay. Again, the resin's probably going to cover that, and we're not going to even notice. I'm going to zoom y'all in just a little so that we can get you in here. So tonight is all about prepping and getting these set. So now we've scuffed them up so we know the resin's going to stick to them. We have wiped the dust off of them, which is important. Now I want to protect the back side to ensure that our back side is going to not get all messy, because it does have these really nice little table buffer things on them. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take masking tape, and I took a way too big of a piece here, so I'm going to kind of do this to where I can use it a little bit other. And basically the biggest thing I want to do is just to protect this like whole bottom area. So these little buffers, I got to be careful and make sure that we go all the way around them so that we're getting a good seal and hopefully don't have resin try to sneak in, essentially. And I'm not worried about this overage because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that once we get this around there. So I'm just really pressing that down. There needs to be a little piece right here just to make sure that we have overage to mark off. And I am going to, I know it may seem silly, but we are going to cover the entire bottom with the tape, and that's just going to help us seal that fully up on the bottom. So this takes, you know, a little prep time, which is why I said that, you know, it's going to take at least an hour for us to pour and all the prep on this and then clean up. It might only be 3 episodes, but it will depend on how our pour goes. Okay, so one is done. I can see just enough tape on all the around it, so we'll move it aside. We'll get them all done. And then we'll go to the next round on it. I'm excited for this. The tray is going to come into play because the way we're going to set these coasters up to put resin on them, we're going to have resin that drips off of them. And if you have watched any of my previous videos or know anything about me, I do not like waste. Especially when it comes to resin. I don't want to waste my resin. So, we're going to have the resin drip down into our tray and help create kind of like a mismatched, probably, tray slash dump kind of situation. And that actually might be what our 3rd or 4th episode is just to go over that side of things. And so forth. Okay. Look at that. Love it. Oh, we may end up only getting 3 done. It kind of depends. We'll see. I'm hoping for 4 because I want to do like a few different designs or techniques with resin and play a little bit and experiment. So, you know, I really was going like one direction when I first started this. And now that I'm getting my groove on, I'm like, oh, let's do this way. And let's do this way. So, you know, that's all good. All good here. I'll just keep going. And basically, this is all going to just get peeled off when we're done. So, cheap masking tape from Dollar Tree is what I'm using. Okay? Because, you know, and I got to remind myself, next time I'm at the Dollar Tree, we need to buy a little bit more masking tape because this is my only roll that I could find tonight. So, I'm kind of thinking maybe it's my last roll. Though I swore I had more, but I can't seem to find it. And if you've watched any of my videos, y'all know I am rearranging the space. Certain things have actually found their, like, quote-unquote permanent spot, which I'm happy to announce. But there's a lot still going on behind the scenes. So, hang on just a second. Okay, I'm back. Had a little interruption. I apologize. I saw a text come through from my sister, and I had this thought. I was like, I don't think I responded to her earlier, and we both have anxiety. So she called me. I was like, I bet you she's going to call me if I don't answer her, but I couldn't figure out how I was going to answer her. And then, you know, so I was like, well, she'll either wait or she'll call me. And she called me. So I need to take that and alleviate her stress and anxiety over that I hadn't answered, because she texted me earlier. Now, what did she text me earlier? I have no clue, y'all. I have no clue. I vaguely remember seeing something. What it was about? No idea. No idea. So, I'll look at that when we get done. Just, anywho, a little pause there. You know, I apologize. I just had to tell myself to not tape anymore while I took the call, because I was like, no, I'm doing a tutorial. So, she's like, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. And then her daughter was crying in the background. So she's like, well, I gotta go help with a crying baby. So, alright. Let's see here. So now that we have that, like this. So if you notice that the screen switched a little bit, it's because I bumped the camera, trying to get everything back on. I just roll with it. Y'all know by now, like, things just, in my life, we just have to kind of go with whatever happens, and, you know, it's fine. I'll bring 2 videos together, and it is all good. My sister ever watches these, she's gonna be like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's fine. I'd rather, I know how it is. She's normally the one that, like, never responds, and so, because she doesn't always have her phone with her, whereas I'm really good about responding, so it just made her nervous. Understandable. Okay, this is not cutting as well as I thought it was going to with the X-Acto knife. I feel like I've done this before and it worked a lot better. So let's, than what it is now. So let's bring out our handy dandy scissors. Oh yeah, this is going to go so much better than the X-Acto knife. Basically, I'm just going around the bottom of the edge here, kind of at an angle with my scissors so that I can get this cut off. It's getting really sticky and clumped up here. So I'm going to just cut that all the way. And so you can see now we've got more of a rounded edge here. So I'm not worried about if resin comes down on our edges per se. I just don't want a bunch to get stuck to the bottom. Because what's going to happen is the resin is going to roll or run. Probably more accurate. It's going to run off these edges, and what will automatically happen is as it's hardening and self-leveling itself, it's going to create these big, what I call alligator tears at the bottom of this, and that's going to be a real pain to get off, and we'd have to do a lot of dremeling and sanding, so the tape is going to prevent that. And of course there's no telling where it would land. I've had some come more center, like run and then end up going more in somewhere, so that's why we're going to do a full cover of them basically. So we're just gonna, oh, I cut a little bit of the ceramic right there. That's okay though. Again, I'm not overly worried about perfection at this point. And heck, I'm never really, I am a perfectionist, but I will say when it comes to crafting, it really doesn't stress me out as bad. Maybe it does. Okay, I might have lied. If you ask my daughter that question after tonight, me trying to do something with a puzzle, she'd probably be like, my mom's totally a perfectionist, and yeah, don't believe her. So, puzzle was missing a piece. It was a used puzzle. It's fine. It was missing a piece. I thought I'd try to make a piece and paint it gold, like the Japanese thing that you do. And it's not fitting correctly, and it's bugging me. And she's like, it's not going to fit correct, like perfect. And I'm like, but I want it to fit perfect. She's like, it's not, Mom. Like, you're the only one that's noticing this. I'm like, okay. So, I can't really say that I'm not a perfectionist, but somehow when I'm doing this, I just kind of go with the flow. So maybe creating, that was too far out of my comfort zone. I was feeling I need to have it perfect. Whereas this, I'm not feeling that. See? If you've never watched one of my tutorials, y'all are getting a fine dose of me right now. Definitely not polished. Not hiding who I am. That is who I am, and if you like it or love it, great. And if you don't, move to another channel. No, that's just how it rolls. Right? So that's kind of how I am. I am a people pleaser though, usually. So, but with this is my happy place. Nobody's gonna ruin that for me, is what I say. So if you don't like it, or my voice bugs you or something, you can just move right along. You can unsubscribe, I guess. Although, just subscribe and ignore my posts, okay? That's cool. We'll take that. Okay. Coming all the way. Oops. Let me get that just a little bit more. Now, I'm going to show you guys. This is like a bonus tip, okay? My scissors are really sticky from working with that. I don't know if you guys can really see, but there's like a bunch of tacky stuff on there. So, I'm going to take a little paper towel and a little bit of our handy dandy rubbing alcohol. If you guys have watched previously, you know that this is not Equate rubbing alcohol in here. It is Amazon Basics brand. But the Equate bottle has a beautiful spout that I can't get rid of. So, but we put a little rubbing alcohol on a paper towel, and we're gently wiping these off to get that rubbing alcohol off, to get that tacky stickiness off. Be careful, of course, because these are blades, but you can see it is coming off. If it needs a little bit extra, you know, you just get in there and get it cleaned up. I would leave them open until they dry, but it really doesn't take long for that to happen. And then this paper towel is good. We'll use it when we do the resin to wipe off some of the resin. Look at that. So now they're not sticky, which is so beautiful, and I can put them away clean. Now, would I normally stop to do that? Probably not, but it was a good bonus tip for you guys. So that's cool. Okay, so now we've got our 4 coasters all taped, right? Next thing we're going to prep is we're going to get ourselves all situated for the pour and everything. So this is going to be our tray, our catch tray, basically, if you will. And we might have to do 2 coasters at a time. Let's just see, because basically I need there to be, this mold needs to extend out from the coaster so that as that resin runs off, it's going to drip into our mold. If I put where the coaster is outside the mold, then it's going to run off onto our mat. So we want it to be on the cup, essentially. Now they can be really close to each other, that's fine, as long as we get them situated. And the other thing is like, we're not going to let the cups cure inside the mold. We are going to remove these while the resin is still curing, and I don't know the proper word I want to use, but essentially while the resin is still very fluid and gonna be able to work with, that we can pull, you know, the cup essentially from the bottom and pull it right on out, and then we'll move this for curing purposes. These will cure on the cup because as that resin cures, we want that to fully cover and if we want that to fully drip off, essentially. Any extra that can drip off, even if it means it gets stuck here, we want it to drip off. or drip at least to the here. If we lay this flat for it to cure, as that resin continues curing and self-leveling itself, what is going to happen is the drips are going to come and they're going to get stuck to the mat, and then they're going to create like a thicker spot where that drip was. I don't want that. I want this to have, the edges will end up more smooth if we have it lifted, and then those runoffs hit the puddle, or alligator teardrop is what I call them, alligator tears, where it will teardrop underneath here. And I think that will make more sense once we get to that part of the tutorial, so don't get caught up on terms and things here, as I probably am, as I'm trying to teach and say that. Okay, we need to come back out so that you can get the full look here of this mold. So again, I'm not worried about them per se being super close here. That's fine, as long as we're within this mold. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. We got to do a little bit of shifting, and that's fine. And if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. I just would like to catch some of the resin if we can. That would be cool. You know? And look, we're going to be able to get all 4 on here. And it's going to work. Oh, let's get that flake. Ah! Okay. That went into our mold. That's fine-ish, but I don't want it, so... Okay. So yeah, so there we go. I think that is about right. We're going to have to do some lifting of our coasters as we go through the process, but at least this gives us the placement of our cups, so we know where we need to sit our cups and everything for that. Now, we are going to do a few different techniques, so I'm going to try a few different techniques. So before the next episode, I am going to gather all of our colorants that we are going to be using. We will be using a variety. We're going to have some mica powders. We are going to have alcohol inks. We are also going to use an Armor Art. I already pulled it out because it's in a different spot in the craft room, and I saw this color and I love it. So we're going to use a little bit of Armor Art. We are also going to use some dispersion colors. I love these 2 colors. They are just, oops, sorry, I got above the light, so I'll give you a shout out. These 2 colors are just stunning, and I want to use those. So those will be something new that I really haven't done a lot of use on. Maybe a little bit, but I haven't done a ton. So we're going to do a little bit more with those as well here in that tutorial, just to show those. And of course, we'll have our resin, our Counterculture DIY Thin Viscosity Resin, which is what we're going to mix up next episode and add our colorants and do some fun magic designs on these, and then hopefully end up with a really fun, beautiful tray as well in it. So pretty stoked, you guys. I'm looking forward to it, and so definitely stay tuned, and we'll see you guys back here again very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night. Bye.